Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with David Aston. What's up, David?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Matrix Lord 212 cast. And that's the way it goes, better known as Dave. And we're here on the interweb.
Yeah, talking about Doctor Who.
Ah, yes, Doctor Who. So, Abba, what are we talking about?
We're talking about this thing that started last week that they called Chaos in Cardiff. And the reason why they called it Chaos in Cardiff is they said that while Doctor Who filming was going on, Chibnall had a big fight with the BBC and was fired. This is the rumor.
Chris Chibnall actually had a fight with somebody.
Well, he already fought with them last year, if you remember, with BBC. Him and Jodie almost quit last year. Remember that? So he had supposedly the rumor states they had a big fight. He got fired. Jodie walked off and quit. Now this was the rumor. Then we heard that the legal team of the BBC had said that she is contractually obligated to return and that she must return for a regeneration episode. You can't just leave. So if you're going to leave, you got to film a regeneration episode. Now, this was...
Hang on a second. Last year, very briefly, for me and many others who have no clue what you're talking about, what was the original...
Last year, there was a fight between Chibnall, Jodie, and the BBC. And they didn't like them micromanaging the show. And Chibnall and Jodie were going to walk. Now, what happened was this happened. They said it was rumors. After 4 months, they put this whole thing out in, I think, Starburst magazine or something. And it showed that it was real, that they were going to quit, that something big happened, but they smoothed things over, right? So now we are flash forward to Series 12, and something similar has occurred.
Yeah.
And people don't know what it is. So what happened is they threw in some nonsense out there. They were saying, that Chibnall was trying to piss off the BBC because they forced him to do classic monsters. So he made like a female Dalek basically to give them the finger. And something about he brought Billy Piper back in a way that would disrespect the character. So all that stuff could be hullabaloo nonsense, right? But people
I am officially back where I belong.
That's right.
Lord.
So people are throwing nonsense into the rumor to make it look even more nonsense, to try to discredit it, basically.
But I think Chibnall did the right thing, actually, because that's the same thing that happened with the Justice League thing. You know, they were the students, yet again, as they always do, interfering, thinking they're experts on writing a script just because they write contracts. Jesus Christ, just imagine if they wrote all the scripts.
Well, the thing is, we haven't confirmed that yet either, because the thing is that they said that the person that is the writer of Kablam was going to be a temporary showrunner until they got someone that they were going to still filming. They were still going to finish filming Doctor Who. It wasn't as planned.
Who's going to be a temporary?
The guy, Peter McTee, I think he wrote Kablam. He has his own show in Australia, something like he has his own thing somewhere else. So they felt he was best to be temporary. Now, again, this is rumor also.
Yeah. So it's not all confirmed. It's all just...
Well, here's what happened. Instead of the BBC coming out...
In the time vortex.
Right. Instead of BBC coming out and saying that it's nonsense, right? Because you know plenty of times the BBC will come out and say it's nonsense, right?
Most of what they say is fucking nonsense.
They didn't say anything. In fact, Radio Times talked for them. Nice. Radio Times talked for them, making it like they're the spokesperson for the BBC. And they said that this is nonsense, and we're getting that this is a nonsense from an anonymous source, meaning they don't have a credible source to say it was false.
Yeah.
So then we had people flipping out. They're like, it's the millennials' fault. It's the misogynist's fault. It's the white guy's fault. Like, they don't like female doctor, and they're like flooding the. Then people are making articles based on the Radio Times article. They're making videos based on Radio Times saying it's nonsense. Nobody knows anything, and the BBC is quiet.
I think this is my theory. This has been going on in Hollywood. They're doing it all the time now. The leaks. It's a form of publicity stunt. So now they're doing it in TV, and you got the guy from Star Trek, the gay bloke, saying hilariously, blah blah, white.
Oh, Discovery.
Blah blah. Yeah. While he forgets that he might have not noticed it, but he's white as well. And then you got that actor who originally called the fans racist, saying that Discovery producers, I won't go on about this too long, but Discovery producers didn't have a clue what they're doing, and yet then he backtracks.
Right.
It's all done on purpose. I really wouldn't be surprised if it's a distraction, as you said. It's a sleight of hand to prevent people from. It's like when someone
here's the thing, though.
When someone resets your arm, they get you to be distracted while you go like that.
Yeah, but here's the thing that I question. If Chibnall is their guy, right, and they're behind their actors, they're standing behind their people, they're standing behind the show, and if this is not true, plenty of times the BBC will come out there and they're like, this is the BBC, and this isn't true, right? Nobody is saying anything.
This is the same little shit who was sitting opposite JNT many moons ago.
So why do they want the drama, though?
Now. And JNT, to be fair, was completely. He always answered critics in a calm, controlled way, didn't he?
Right.
And Chibnall is literally. He's actually right. Yeah, don't get me wrong. But if it's true, then rightly he's lost his rag because bunch of wankers at the BBC. These are the people who could have given us a torture movie
right
ages ago. These are the people who didn't bother to give us a spin-off of Vastra and Co. Instead gave us fucking Class.
Well, why would they want negative drama for themselves? Wouldn't they want to put out the fire? Wouldn't they want to just end it?
All news is good news.
Yeah, it's hyping Doctor Who. Everybody's talking about Doctor Who then.
Yeah, no news is, well,
it's dead.
No news is being Bernie Sanders or something. I don't know.
Oh my God. So you're saying they're trying to stir us up to talk about Doctor Who in podcasts to bring attention to the show.
Yeah.
So it's a reverse psychology.
Yeah, reverse psychology. It's like, someone saying when they're offered a job, nah, I don't want it. I'd only do that, nudge, wink, wink, if I was offered a bit more money. So if that works, you get the job and extra money.
Right. So sort of like when they kept saying there's a Snyder cut for the Justice League. Meanwhile, like the DC universe is kind of like blah, but they're trying to bring interest to the Justice League always, like movie, like, oh, maybe there's another version of it and stuff like that. And
I think Mustachegate might have been started on purpose to distract. I think Justice League, I think all that business was actually genuine, but then others realised they could manufacture it. Like, of course, the perfect example. Back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and perhaps even now, a gay actor or actress is seen out with a man or woman to distract and cover up the fact that they're, batting for the other team, So Mustachegate is implemented to distract from, let's be honest, everything that happened on Justice League behind the scenes was absolutely toxic to people going to see the film. Right. From a psychological point of view, again, I won't go on for ages, but if people see, oh, that's going on behind the scenes, then this film can't be that good altogether. Right. And it wasn't. Anyway, back to Doctor Who. And
So why are they talk? So here's the thing that I just don't understand. Why, when it came to the 50th anniversary, we never really got a trailer. They made us wait, but now they want to talk about the 60th 4 years early. 4 years. We're talking 2023, the 60th anniversary. Why is it convenient now to talk about it? Right now. There's no script. There's no nothing. But they're throwing ideas at us. They're throwing stuff at us because chaos in Cardiff. They don't want you to not talk about it. Possibly.
They've got nothing good to talk about when they've got. You can tell them rusty, can't you? They've got nothing good about the current series to talk about, so they have to go fast forward into the future.
I see.
They're relying on Mr. Perfect. Mr. Tennant, yeah.
Right.
He was actually honest about it. He said he'd love to do the 60th. He said
it's not about him.
He's Matt. He's met everybody except Grumpy Northerner. He was diplomatic about it. I bet he doesn't like it really, because I bet you. Eccleston would have taken one look at it.
I think Christopher Eccleston's going to be in it. I think he's going to be in it.
Is he?
I think so.
Yes, but you forget where he just
changed. Now it's changed. He's doing conventions.
Did you say that Eccleston, the reason he left was because of bullying or something behind the scenes?
Something to do. Well, whatever. He's back now, though. He's doing conventions. He's doing everything in there. So I think that the waters are calm, and I think he may be in it. But here's the thing. Notice how we're talking about the 60th anniversary, and we're not talking about the current series, because, and this is my fear. My fear is that the show could, not that it will, get so bad that
Why did he dislike the beef? What made him leave very briefly, Eccleston?
The exact thing was obviously he had a problem with Russell T Davies, and he had a problem with what he was doing, and he didn't agree, and he decided to leave, and then he was told he had to flee the country, that he couldn't even live there because he was going to be blackballed, and he was never going to be able to do any movies or anything, so he fled for America.
Really?
Yeah. He said,
what did he dislike about it? What would he do?
We don't know the exact thing. They didn't say, but even Russell T Davies had responded to it. But here's the thing. Ultimately, right? My fear with Doctor Who is that we heard that Doctor Who will end in 2023. It was commissioned until 2023, right? So every year they have an opportunity to prove themselves, to get that commission date pushed further back to 2024, 2025. And every time Moffat and Russell T Davies was able to push that commission date further back, where you don't have to worry, Doctor's going to be great for the next 10 years. But lately, that commission date wasn't moving, and Chibnall did not make it move. And this last series wasn't doing it.
They are fucking cunts. David is warning viewers. This David is ranting segment Ladies and gentlemen, the following minutes will include David Aston ranting about the BBC. May contain rants, swear words, and nuts, and possibly Marmite with any luck. The BBC are a bunch of useless, snobbish twats. 29. Tennant hands in his resignation from the 10th Doctor role, which he technically played twice. 10th Doctor, Meta Crisis. And they wanted to cancel it then. The BBC have never liked Doctor Who. It is the ultimate FU rich boy to them, because from the beginning they looked down on BBC, Doctor Who. You know, it kept on proving them wrong all the time. They tried to cancel it, they failed. And even after they put it on a hiatus, there's some of the people in shock. The person who put it on hiatus said he didn't want it. You know, even then, after 70 years, it came back and really made a lot of people in the entire industry, not just BBC, look like absolute idiots. They bet for the wrong side and they screwed themselves. They are dickheads, they are knobs, and they can stick a big loaf of bread up their arse. That's how much I feel.
And you live there, where they are, so you know better. Nah.
I may be coming to the United States.
Really? I don't think America's ready for you. Really? Wow.
Nobody's ready for me.
Nobody's ready for you.
So you think it's a distraction from all the political intrigue behind the scenes, and
right? And I also fear that
cares about the current series. Nothing wrong really with Jodie Whittaker or Chibnall. At the end of the day, they take their instructions from somebody higher, and if the rumours are to be believed, Chibnall lost his patience with intrusive, counterproductive, from an artistic and creative point of view, interference.
Well, here's another thing we didn't factor in, is that because of the commission date, technically, the Doctor Who 60th anniversary could quite possibly be the last Doctor Who story, and then cancellation. It may be going to sleep for a long time. If Chibnall cannot get the show back on track and get the date extended, the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who will be the last produced thing before it's not commissioned anymore. So
I think they should give the gig to Big Finish. The reason why is because virtually every possible spin-off or idea, narrative-wise, classic meeting new Who, has been done by Big Finish.
They've done a lot.
Expanded the universe. Yeah, they've done the Time War, including the Time War Master, Eighth Doctor, War Doctor, even Seventh Doctor. They've done a River Songs series, a Jago and Lightfoot series. They've done Countermeasures, that group from Remembrance of the Daleks. Anything you can think of, they've done. They even brought Adric back.
They've even done what they're releasing this week, and that is the War Valyard, which is supposed to be a good Valyard. Which, wouldn't the good Valyard mean a good doctor? Because that's where he is.
These are all original ideas mixed with nostalgia. The BBC have... one of the most dumbest things I cannot understand, apart from Vasper and Co., is why I think all the women fans, unsurprisingly, would agree with me that me and my girls, me and the sister, ladies out there and everybody who loves Doctor Who, wouldn't you agree, especially ones watching this and ones yet to watch, and don't forget to subscribe and like and share in this internet bosom. Basically, everybody, wouldn't you agree that the biggest missed opportunity was the 8th Doctor Time War mini-series or recurring series or something like that?
We could have had 8 Doctor Adventures. That would have been great.
Yeah.
You should have made a series about it.
They've got the rights. The BBC have the rights. Plus, they have the rights to use characters that the BBC doesn't.
Right. Like the Ronnie, right? Omega, I guess.
Yeah. It could go from being owned by the BBC, in theory, to Big Finish.
Right.
And I guarantee you, if they own Doctor Who right out, they would have it on for another... how many seasons of Doctor Who have there been now? Series, I mean. Since it came back.
Is it 46? Is it 46? I'm not sure.
2005.
46? I'm not sure.
Technically 14, if you include year.
No, I mean, if you're adding it together, or right now we're going to do Series 12. But if you're talking combination of McCoy's last season, which was 26, right?
38.
Is it 30?
26 of the classic series, 12 of the new series. That's 28, I mean, 38, 30, oh, bollocks. Oh, fuck me. Fuck! Oh, that's all your fucking fault, Joe.
What did I do? Whatever.
If in doubt, either cheat or blame someone else.
So we hear that the Cybermen are going to be with Mary Shelley, and it's going to be a Frankenstein thing with Jodie Whittaker. We hear that the Jadoon are back. We hear that the Daleks are back. We hear that the Sea Devils are finally coming back.
Whoa, holy shit.
So this is really going to be some season.
Oh, really? You've got a whole universe of characters. It's literally, I mean, that's what Big Finish has proven. You can do virtually anything.
Right.
All it takes is a good writer, a good cast, a good director, and the willingness to believe.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we potentially have a good season coming up. It's just that there's a lot of nonsense behind it, you know. At least we hope it's a good season.
Yeah.
And the Master coming back too, supposedly. A new Master.
A new Master.
Yes. I mean, we're hearing we may have a regeneration, we may not. I don't know, but, you know.
Well, the Master's never always, unlike the Doctor, they've shown most of the regenerations now. They've filled in, Moffat cleverly filled in the blanks, you know, the sort of gaps between Doctors. But the Master...
The Master, they never really did that, though. You don't really know if after John Sim it was Missy. It could have been like an incarnation after. They never really explained, you know, whatever. But here's the thing. The ultimate last Doctor Who story, right, to go out with a bang before cancellation would be multi-Doctor story, obviously, with a multi-Master story, with like a nice sandwich of Daleks and all your film. It would basically be like 5 Doctors, but magnified. And you would have multi-Masters, multi-Doctors. It would be crazy. It would be like a last hurrah. And I think that would be the only thing. If Chibnall didn't save it, that would be the only thing that quite possibly could save Doctor Who, is a 60th anniversary special. Probably not done by Chibnall. Probably done by, like, I'm hearing Russell T. Davies and Moffat just coming back for the anniversary, you know, and just writing it, both of them.
It needs to be done it needs to be simplified as much as possible. Why not just simply have, like that Babel guy, the one who did the 10 Doctors, and he had all that trouble from the BBC and copyright, but he was amazing. He demonstrated how powerful. Oh, of course, I just had a thought. Oh, have you seen these videos where there's a video where there's a joke in Terminator Judgment? No, wait a minute. The Last Action Hero, there's a joke where there's a sort of cardboard standout, and instead of Schwarzenegger, it's actually Stallone in Independence Day 2. And there's actually a video where they replaced...
Oh, they did a deep fake with Stallone over Schwarzenegger for Terminator. Yes, I saw that.
But it's worried bound to be worrying people in Hollywood because what they apparently can't do is completely on their laptop. But they could easily do that now to have all the past
classic
Doctors. And Babel did it years ago. He did it back in 2008. Right. So if you had an entire season, 10 to 13 episode long story featuring all the Doctors. So instead of just 1 hour, that'd be impossible to satisfy. But if you did it over the whole season, the narrative could be slowly created over a season, and you could focus on different Doctors and weave a story where they have a logical and realistic and also satisfying to all the actors. Because Doctor mentioned what pissed off all the other Doctors was that it seemed to be focusing just on Doctor 4.
Okay. So how do you feel about Doctor Who right now? Are you worried about it?
Sobriety, ladies and gentlemen.
Ah!
It's the brain working. How do I feel about Doctor
Who now? You watch
I
Jodie Whittaker's all her episodes or no?
Well, first off, Jodie Whittaker, you can't say anything about her without starting an argument one side or the other.
Well, I'm asking
Because
your opinion, not that you should be worried about.
she is no way responsible for the declining ratings. They were already declining before she turned up. It was a fresh, new idea to have a female doctor. But the simple fact is, just like Moffat, just like Russell T Davies, and just like how it's always been since the beginning, Doctor Who's biggest enemy has been the BBC, lack of funding, and the news series. Not enough episodes, I think, to tell certain stories. But as far as Doctor Who, in terms of its place right now, I think it's tired, and I think it kind of needs a rest of a couple of years, not 17 years. Just like the guy at the start, there's a documentary on the Survival DVD where the guy who, I can't remember his name, but he didn't want to do it, but his intention was to just rest it for, say, 3 or 4 years.
Right.
So, do it like that.
Not decades.
Imagine the series is a person and it needs. Well, look at what happened with when it was hiatus before. You could still have specials and stuff because you had. The weird thing is when Doctor Who was on its 17-year hiatus, there were more interesting versions of Doctor Who than in 26 years. There was Scream and Shout, Real Time, the TV movie. It was wonderful, and novels. So by giving it time to rest, you give the audience a sense of anticipation again.
So you're thinking he's a rest? Okay,
Yes,
that's fair.
at some point.
All right. Thank you, David Aston. Good to see you, bro. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having me, everybody. Thank you for having me, Joe.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye for now.